Hi, my name's Laura Katarzinski, and I spent the course researching the benefits of intermittent fasting for weight loss. In the following slides, I'm going to discuss what intermittent fasting is, how intermittent fasting works, and present a study demonstrating the efficacy of intermittent fasting for weight loss. First, what is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is restricting time periods of eating to create a schedule and promote consistency of daily food consumption. Many weight loss methods focus on what you eat, while intermittent fasting focuses on when. Intermittent fasting has been an idea that has been studied since the 1970s, and with continued study, researchers have narrowed down the most beneficial ways to implement intermittent fasting to see weight loss results. As I mentioned in the previous slide, intermittent fasting establishes a schedule for eating to create consistent eating patterns. These time frames are most commonly referred to as windows. In a day, you'll have a fasting window and an eating window. During the fasting window, you'll be limiting your calorie intake, and your eating window is the time frame that you have to consume calories. The most common schedules for intermittent fasting are 5-2, 16-8, 14-10, and alternate day fasting. To begin, if you see on the table, the 5-2 method allows a 5-day eating period where participants eat normally and fast for 2 days, only eating 500 to 600 calories per day. During the fasting period, it's recommended to only drink 0-calorie drinks and black coffee. For the best results, you do want to watch what you eat, but you do not have to completely change your lifestyle to see the results. Next, the 16-8 and 14-10 diet. These are a little bit different because they're used daily. The eating period is 8 hours or 10 hours, depending on which method you use, and the fasting period is 16 hours or 14 hours. During the eating period, you're not limited to calories, but similar to the 5-2 diet, you will see better results the cleaner you eat. Finally, we have alternate day fasting. This method is the most common, and it is similar to the other two in terms that the eating window, you can have whatever you want during that time, and on the fasting days, you have a limited calorie intake of 500 to 600 calories. The difference is, it's every other day that you're eating or fasting. Now, let's look at why intermittent fasting can be a beneficial weight loss method. Some of the benefits of intermittent fasting are dietary freedom and a health balance, adaptive to any lifestyle, and its long-term sustainability. In regards to dietary freedom, unlike other diets, this diet gives you freedom. You do not have to change what you're eating unless you'd prefer to. You do not have to change the amount you're consuming. You only have to change the time of day you're eating versus fasting. Next, this diet is adaptive to any lifestyle. Intermittent fasting, whether you're an extremely busy person or live a more sedentary lifestyle, intermittent fasting provides an adaptive diet that can suit your individual daily schedule for what works best for you. Finally, we have long-term sustainability. Many people struggle in sustaining weight loss in the long run, but intermittent fasting is a method that can be sustained for a longer period of time. Because you don't have to change the foods you usually eat, it's less of a commitment in regards to time and financially. Imagine being able to lose weight and keep that weight off without changing what you're eating now. Intermittent fasting can be an easy weight loss method without the financial burden of other diets because it allows us to only alter our consumption times, not what we're actually consuming. Dive into our study that provides some further evidence into intermittent fasting's benefits for weight loss. I've pulled a few tables and figures from the studies I researched, and it's really nice to see a visual representation of the study's results and how they were designed. On the far left, you can see the results from the alternate day fasting in terms of the change in body weight, fat mass, and fat-free mass when compared to the control group on the right. This study consisted of 32 individuals of all weight classes and lasted 12 weeks. They fasted every other day, and on those days they were eating meals provided for them from 12 to 2 p.m. The meal consisted of 25% of their energy needs. On days where they were not fasting, they were able to eat whatever they wanted. As you can see in the graph, the average loss in body weight was 5 kilograms, and the control group, who had no requirements, was 1 kilogram. They also lost 3.5 kilograms of fat mass and 1.5 kilograms fat-free mass, while the control group had less than 1 in both of these categories. Obviously, this was a small study along with a short period of time, but all of the participants that completed the 12 weeks saw at least a bit of weight loss. On the right, you'll see a table of the mean outcomes of all different factors the researchers tested. This study focused on the 16-8 method, where participants were required to fast daily and only eat 8 hours a day. This study only had 16 participants with ages ranging from 34 to 11 years old. The researchers focused on individuals who have not already tried intermittent fasting in the past, and some others were left out due to health concerns. It was a 4-week study that trusted individuals to be honest and fast for 16 hours, and during the day, on their eating period, only drink 0-calorie drinks along with black coffee and tea. As you can see in the table, this study did not just focus on weight loss. It was also looking to see if intermittent fasting would improve stress, sleep, and other personal benefits. They tested this by giving the individuals in the study a questionnaire in the beginning, and at the end of the study, they did another questionnaire. In a short 4-week, hunger, stress, body fat mass, visceral fat, and trunk fat had the best results, as the others did not show a significant change. Not pictured in the table, but also in the study, they tested for quality of life and sleep quality, both in which were not affected by this diet. There were several other studies that I did research, but I thought that these had the best visual representation of the study's results. When you see results so quickly in a diet, many people ask, is intermittent fasting safe? The truth is, intermittent fasting has demonstrated to be a very safe strategy for individuals. You're not making a huge lifestyle change when you start an intermittent fasting diet. You are just adjusting the time allotted to eat in a day. To incorporate this into your life, you can start by not eating breakfast and have your first meal of the day at lunchtime. Once you start your eating period, eat for 8 to 10 hours and then fast until the next day at the same time. Your body will adjust fairly quickly to this weight loss strategy, and soon you could try to take the next step of alternate day fasting. Intermittent fasting may not be a great idea for pregnant women or women who are breastfeeding, along with people that have other health concerns, but if you are one of those people, you can always talk to your doctor to see if intermittent fasting would be best for you. Now let's take a look back at what we learned today. We started off with explaining what intermittent fasting is and some of the methods that come along with it. Next, we went into why we should use intermittent fasting and what are some of the benefits of this diet. And then we dove into a study that showed some of the results of intermittent fasting. Finally, we discussed, is intermittent fasting a safe option and how do we use it? These are all factors of intermittent fasting that I discussed in this presentation. Intermittent fasting may improve several aspects of a person's life, as we saw in the small studies that were performed. It can prevent a lot of diseases and health conditions, as well as proving to be beneficial in terms of weight loss. Through these studies and experiments, we've seen that you do not always have to change your diet or spend hours on the treadmill to lose weight. Those things might help find better results, but they're not necessary. So if you're sitting here wondering how you can lose weight without changing so much of your lifestyle, so much of your schedule, I'm glad you're here listening, because intermittent fasting might be beneficial to you.